Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's another Rohde and schwarz VHF Empfänger, that means receiver, type EU89. So this one is a VHF. Well, it's not the entire VHF band. It goes up to 56 megahertz. Oh, you need to. Why is this not working? I need to unlock this, right? Oops, that's not working anymore. Okay, so this one jumped off somewhere. From 100 megahertz to 156. Okay, just too bad. It used to work. It is a very, very special receiver, this one, because it's half tubes and half transistors. We got 20 tubes and 21 transistors in this thing, and switch mode power supply with transistors, and a super heterodyne three intermediate frequencies at least, and it's actually quite interesting, this design. There's a meter here, and that is used to control all the different tubes. Look at that. So that would be the numbers of the different tubes, and there's an oscillator and all sorts of power supply voltages and whatnot. So it's a little bit military kind of style. So that means if something is not working, you can just move this around, and then there's a red indication here. So if you go to tube number 3, okay, it should be here in the red indication, right? How cool is that? We also got two different connectors for earphones, headphones. Here they call them hører, so that means of course headphones. And we got a quartz stabilizer, abstimmbar. There's actually a motor system to drive the tuning. Of course, we're gonna go and dig much more into that. All the fuses, and here is a quartz behind this little. How cute is that, by the way? And I think that in here we got spare quartz. I don't know if they are connected to anything or if this is just spares. So I think the idea is to take one of them and plug it in here and put this little shield on. Oh, instead of having a switch here, selecting which one of them you need. Yep. And fuses. That would be the different fuses, right? But it's not just a fuse, it's also a lamp. Isn't that just cool? So I don't know if this lamp is mounted so it's supposed to be lit, after the fuse, or is it mounted over the fuse so it will. I don't know yet, but that is something I'm going to figure out. I got this as defect, by the way, so it is in a little bit of a funny state. The mains switch, the mains voltage selector switch here, that was selected for 115. So that is something that worries me a little bit. So that means somebody probably plugged it in to 230 and then blew everything up. So of course I know this one doesn't work, so it's not a big loss, but of course you should always have the fuse or the voltage selector correct, right? And here is the voltage input that goes directly to a neon bulb. I hope there's a fuse inside here, and then it goes to the on-off switch. I mean, what can we do? Let's just power it up and see how much smoke there is in this thing. Also, let's just go a little bit fast through before we dig more deeper into all the internals. We got some high voltage power supply. We got the receiver parts. It's in 3 different sections, and each of the section is in a module with connectors between them. So you can actually take out each of those modules and look for stability here in the middle of the chassis. Here is the mechanical tuning parts that goes to each of the sides with all sorts of stuff in here. We'll dig into that. But that is a 10 millimeter thick frame. I think it is aluminium, but so they really wanted to do this good and stable. There's a switch mode power supply made using transistors and stuff here on the back. That is definitely something I want to look forward to play with. We got filters, different antenna inputs, and another little super nice detail. Come on, look at that. Screw on tube shields, and what else? That one, that part down here is actually a part of this chassis. You see that? It's not something that is, see, it's not something that is added later. This is a part of that. So that is really, really nice. Ho ho ho. Gold pins. Oh, we love those. And see, now I did that. I always say to people, don't touch them damn tubes, because see what happens. Text is gonna go away. This is a special quality tube, and now I just touched it. Hey, how annoying. You cannot do that. I hope you're ready, because I don't know if I am ready. Let's power up. I turned it on. Put the voltmeter to 130 here, and let's see what happens. Then I will crank up the mains. Oh, did you hear that? $40 volts, or half an amp. Click. This can't be good. I am at 115 volts, and I did actually change the voltage selector, and I see nice shiny filament. There isn't any with the, and I hear a loud hum. I don't see that much. The light is not 24 volts. It's also low. All the voltages are low. And that filament looks a little bit dimmer, I don't know. But this is 1 amp. That is a lot. And also I see that will be voltage regulator, tubes. 100 watts. What do you suggest? Should we crank it up a little bit more and see what happens? When I crank this up, I don't see this voltage rise. You hear that? See? That is weird. What else have we got? A 24 volts. So it continues up. That is what I wanted to see. You hear this loud hum. This is 180 watts and 210 watts at 165. I mean, this can't be good. Oi, oi, oi. See the filaments in those tubes? That is way too much. So that is definitely something wrong here with the voltage selection. But of course, I was told this thing don't power up. You're not supposed to power it up. It was defect and you're not going to fix it. Forget about it. But I just wanted to play with it and see what's going on here. Ooh, I hope I didn't blow up any tubes. I found the problem with the tuning. There was a screw in here that was loose. And this is where the tuning indicator goes. And this is definitely the remote control motor for the tuning. And then there's this switch down here to the right. This one is actually, see? It says if you want to be able to tune it or not, right? And then this one controls down here. That one. So it's a clutch kind of system that controls if you're able to trim it or not. So you can see this one is turning now. So there's a gearbox that goes to both of the tuners. So we're definitely going to dig our way down here and have a look. Of course, you cannot be surprised when it's a Rohde schwarz, right? But look at that switch. The way that the springy part pushes down on a hinged, movable little piece here, right? So this one is creating the contact point. And then there is a little movement and it's isolated and all that. Look at that. This is how you make a very, very good contact. Quality. Nice detail. So now we are looking from the bottom. So this is the tuning knob. And look at the way that this is geared. I mean, isn't that just amazing? It goes up here and then there's a little arm. And I think the idea is you can actually fine tune how this is aligned, right? See, there's a screw here. So the two parts of this tuner, you can fine tune all that. Oh, I mean, this is amazing. And of course there will be a switch for the two endpoints for the remote motor system. And that will be the two receiver parts where we can take out this entire module, and there will be connectors. See, we got those screws here as well. So we just need to figure out how to unhinge. Ooh, there's a spring in here. So it's probably able to, yes, look at that. You can easily detach this. We definitely need to have a look in here. Now I wanted to see if I could get deeper into the tuners. I don't know. Have a look at all those. All those capacitors all that way. Wow. That is some tuner, isn't it? You gotta be a little bit impressed about all those sections, and all this needs to be tuned and fine. Oh man, amazing. There was something blown up in here and replaced and fixed, and you can even see how they tried to clean this up. Also some fingerprints as well. So yeah, I know that was something that blew up in here, and it's the same over here. This resistor is definitely not original. So there was a small fire in this unit. That's just how it goes. So I am on my way to dig a little bit down in this unit. So that is the power supply unit. See, and again, it's full of transistors and stuff. More modern stuff, and of course all the tubes as well. So that is also a part of the receiver. This is of course the demodulation section, and here we got crystals. There's a crystal in a socket like that, and then there's a crystal built into it here. You're not supposed to change or mess around with. Isn't that pretty cool? And that is the switch mode power supply. Oh, I think that it is in a socket, so we can easily take it out and have a look at that one. I don't know what have I gotten myself into once again. Holy camole. But this unit is just full of modules. Oh, you can just easily, well, you can easily was a big word to use in this. Well, you can unscrew everything and unplug all the different modules, and that is the chassis with all the cablings and everything here. And there's just plugs and stuff. Even the clutch system for the front gear. Where the heck was that? Here you go. Look how cool that is made. So it unplugs from that tuner module just by pulling it out of that kind of a groove coupling. That is just so smart. So that means I thought I needed to remove the knob and all that stuff and remove the shaft. No, it's everything here is with connectors and everything cool. So that will be the 3 receiver modules. Look how neat that is made. And this is the unpluggable mechanical connection. Beautiful. This really feels good. The way that this moves, by the way. That is some top quality equipment here. And the other tuner, that is exactly the same. Tons of brass and bearings and all the cool stuff. Oh, look at that size of that bearing. Nice. And that will be the connector for the crystal. That's definitely nice. Oh, this one goes even smoother. Wow, nice. That is actually a little bit better. And here we see all the interconnects. That is actually a very, very good connector, by the way. It goes really nice and tight and goes click. Feel is super good. Yeah, we've already seen this cool part of the receiver. Let's look at the power supplies. So this will be the main power supply. They sprayed everything with a shiny varnish, so it's this funny yellow color all over the place. Maybe it's a type of conformal coating, but now it's easier to see. Yes, this was definitely repaired. Here we got all the different diodes. Ooh, that will probably be germanium diodes, right? And here is another one. Oh yeah, OC28, definitely germanium transistors. Pretty nice. Oh, this is a heavy beast. Let's look a little bit on the last module. That is the switch mode power supply. I am actually a little bit impressed to see a switch mode power supply in a product that is that old. So they were definitely way ahead of their time. And look at that. It's a combination of germanium transistors, OC28, I'll be there, power PNP half bridge push-pull. And then we got some BCZ11, so that's actually silicon transistors. We got some more OC transistors here. So yeah, there's a mix of silicon and germanium transistors as well. So they were not afraid to use all the different available technologies at that time. Look at that, will be some pretty cool. Is that a resistor? I think that one is an NCC. Wouldn't you think? And I really like this PCB, the way that they are marking everything. They got those little stickers, then they glue them to the PCB, and they're doing this all over inside the unit, inside the metal, the frame, everywhere they are mounting components. They are marking them, and there's actually a little problem with this board. See, it is cracked. See? But it doesn't really have a function, and those are, of course, hand wound transformers. PCB layout is quite nice, and again we see all the names and numbers. This was, of course, before silk screen, and I bet those power transistors there in a socket. It looks a little bit like that, right? So yeah, I think that was all I wanted to show you guys about this super nice receiver. Now I'll put everything together again. So that's gonna take me another hour. So thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Maybe tomorrow.